I'm attorney Clint Wallace with Scott & Wallace, and we're here for our first ever In the Office with Scott & Wallace. So welcome aboard. Here we are in our office in Monroe Street. Let's go ahead and go inside. At the front desk we have Jessica, our receptionist. She handles the phones for us. Hey Jessica.
How are you today?
Good. All right, we've had a busy day. We were at Conley Elementary today, helping out with their food pantry program. I actually have a family. My kids were there. They behaved, acted nice. Had Superintendent Hannah there. Really great program. But I want to start today. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, just ask them on the chat. We're happy to answer anything that anybody has. One question that we get sometimes is, what type of cases do you guys handle? And we have two different divisions to our firm. The first, we have an accident and injury law division. And most of the cases that we handle there are cases where someone's been injured due to someone else's negligence. For instance, car accident cases are a common type of case that we get, as well as premises liability cases, things like slip and falls and trip and falls. We also have a second division of our firm, an employment and labor law division. And that division handles cases from the employment side, things like sexual harassment cases, which are really big in the news right now with the Me Too movement. Other types of cases like wage and overtime, cases where employers aren't paying properly pursuant to the federal labor laws, aren't paying overtime at time and a half, things like that. So if you have questions about that, feel free to call us and we can help. That division also handles worker compensation cases, which are cases where someone's been injured on the job, and we can help with that too. Let's keep walking around. We'll continue in. This is our main conference room. I think Robert is in here.
Hey, Clint. What's up?
All right, Robert, I was telling them about the types of cases we handle. Can you tell them about how we handle
Hey, everyone. I'm Robert Scott. I'm the Scott & Wallace. So you were just talking about our practice areas?
Yeah, a question sometimes people have is, how do I pay you? How do you handle cases?
Absolutely. So at Scott & Wallace, we only take cases on a contingency fee basis, which is good news because as a potential client, you don't pay us anything up front. Some lawyers get paid by the hour. Some lawyers get paid by a flat fee or a flat fee retainer. At Scott & Wallace, we're a pure contingency fee firm. And what that means is there's no cost unless a recovery is made in your case. If a recovery is not made for whatever reason, then you never pay us any fees or reimburse us for any costs. You walk out of the arrangement paying us nothing. So that's what that means. Common questions, and Clint, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes people are like, well, you know, why should I? That sounds great. I get the contingency fee nature of the arrangement with your firm, but why do I need you? Are you going to take all the money? And I get that. I hear that. People are very concerned a lot of times that if I hire a lawyer, I'm not going to get as much money as I would if I don't hire a lawyer. And there's been study after study on this. And what we've read and what's been proven is that it's the exact opposite. You're never going to get as much money unless you hire a lawyer. And the types of defendants we're dealing with on a daily basis, specifically insurance companies, a lot of big corporate defendants, they spend a lot of money making sure you believe the opposite. So if you hold that opinion, I would just tell you to look into it. Because what we found is that on average, we will recover 3, 4, even 5 times more for you, even after you pay an attorney's fee in a case. So if you have any questions about that, I would encourage you to sit down with us. It's a free consultation. There's no obligation. You never have to pay us anything to sit down with us and just discuss the merits of your case or your situation. So I saw you were, I thought I heard you were out there talking to Jess at reception. Why don't we walk around and see what else everybody's doing?
Okay. I'll continue to take you around here. Jesse's on the phone. So we have great staff here. We're so proud of the girls that we have working with us. And this is our pre-litigation department. So cases are generally one of two types. When you first get the case, you're in pre-litigation, meaning you're trying to see if you can resolve the case without having to file a lawsuit in the courts. And a lot of cases resolve like that, and if so, it's a good thing for the client because it happens more quickly for the client Litigation can take a long time because the courts have a lot of cases in them and you're subject to the court's timelines versus pre-litigation cases where it's just you and the insurance company negotiating. So we start by trying to see if we can resolve a case with pre-litigation. And that's where this team comes in. So if we'll come in here first, this is Tori Malden.
Hi.
Tori's been with us several years and she does such an excellent job for us. We're super proud to have her. So here's Tori.
Nice to meet y'all.
Okay. We'll continue to come around here. This is Summer Stevens.
Hi.
Summer's from Cairo, and she's been with us several years.
4.5.
4.5.
Yes.
And she does an excellent job for our clients. They always talk about what a good job she does. We're really proud that she's with us. So she's working hard in here. All right. Here is Annabelle Ruiz. Annabelle is incredible in that she can speak Spanish for our Spanish-speaking clients. If you have a question, Annabelle was born in Cuba, grew up in Spain and South Florida.
Yep.
So she is, I think English is her second language.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
very good. So if you have any Spanish-speaking clients that have a question,
I'm here
you
to
can
help.
call us and Annabelle can answer anything that you have. So we're really excited Annabelle's with us. So this is our pre-litigation department. I'll continue around to the second type of case we have. I'll let Robert tell you about litigation cases.
Hey, again, come on down the hall. So, over this side of the building, we house our litigation department. And what litigation is from time to time, it's not the most common scenario. So again, if you're thinking about hiring a lawyer, that doesn't mean you have to file a lawsuit. But litigation involves the filing of a lawsuit. And if cases don't resolve pre-suit, as Clint was saying, or pre-litigation, then we need to file a lawsuit in order to pursue a maximum recovery for our client, what our client is rightfully entitled to. Sometimes there's just an ongoing debate about what that is. Our job as your attorney is to protect your interests, however, and sometimes we do wind up in litigation. This is Melinda. She's our litigation paralegal.
Hi,
What are you working on right now, Melinda?
I am working on some discovery responses for one of our clients.
Okay, and can you tell everybody on Facebook what discovery is?
After we file suit, there's a process where we and the other side, the defense side, would want to know more about the different parties in the case, the accident that occurred, the injuries, and so we would answer discovery so that we can respond to those questions and let them know exactly what happened.
That's right. In the United States of America, we don't try cases by ambush or surprise. Believe it or not, I have daily conversations with lawyers on the other side. We have a free exchange of information absent certain circumstances like work product. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is resolve the case during litigation if we can. And if we can't, then, as they say, that's why we have courthouses and our jury system, which is not perfect, but it's probably the best system in the world. And so at Scott & Wallace, if we need to try cases, we can certainly do that for you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So continuing on, Megan, this is our law library, and I say that with a smile in that nobody these days uses these legal books. They're all for decoration and for show. Every law firm you go to has them, but everything is electronic now. These legal books aren't updated. Nobody annotates the pages and does them. You order annotations. Now there's databases where you go on and it tells you if another case has come out in the last week or so that you need to know about, so you can always be on top of what the status of a particular law is. So this is our law library. Most of the time we use this for working with clients, depositions and discovery and things like that. So, okay. If I haven't seen any questions pop through, I'd like to thank all the viewers for tuning in
You got a
today.
lot of people watching. We want to take it back out front with Robert. And
Yeah, let's take it out
I'll
back
follow
front with
you.
Robert. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. She's gonna follow me out back through here to Robert.
Everyone, so thanks for joining us at Scott & Wallace today. This is our Tallahassee office location. It's on the corner of Monroe and Brevard.
And speaking of that, we have office locations in Thomasville, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, and Panama City. So if you're watching from one of the outlying counties or South Georgia counties, we're happy to meet with you there. We travel to those offices, kind of riding a circuit through the week, and so.
And also, don't be nervous. We've represented, tragically, people that have been very badly injured in accidents and that sort of thing. If you or loved ones in a hospital or medical facility, we're more than happy to travel to those places, homes, rehab facilities, those types of things. We're more than happy to come to you. We have investigators that are in the field that work with us that can come meet with you as well. So our job is to accommodate you, and that's what we try to do here at Scott & Wallace.
Talk a little bit before we get off about what you guys did this morning. I know you guys had a big morning. We touched on it a little bit, but just kind of the why behind the give back today.
Sure.
People will see that on the news today.
I was surprised to learn we both have kids that are entering school age, and I'm on the board of the PTA at Kate Sullivan Elementary here. Go Crocs. Anyway, we were talking about potential charitable options, and we got with Superintendent Hanna, and I was surprised to learn that the problem with food that we have in Leon County. Leon County ranks 3rd out of 67 counties in Florida for the lack of access to food for school-age children. And so he told us about some of the needs that they have at a local school, Conley Elementary, where they have a food pantry program. And a lot of the kids come to school. They have school meals, of course, when they're there, but on the weekends they don't have access to good, healthy food, or any food for that regard. So we paired with them for a food pantry program. We stocked backpacks, and ultimately the kids